Hi, folks. I am streaming with Brian Borg from Twin Sons Foundation. If you don't know, Amelia is what the stream is about. Unfortunately, her child that she was carrying did not survive, and it's sad news whenever that happens. And of course, she's a long time board member of Twin Sons Foundation, a fantastic person. I know she and her husband. It's just a sad time for them. We're sad for them. There is a GoFundMe out. In fact, I want to go ahead and just bring that. I'm just going to leave this banner up here. And I think I put the link in the description of the stream as well. So if you want to, you can go to that link. You can enter in the amount. You don't have to enter in the 50, 100, 200, 300. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. But you can enter in any amount to give if you are so inclined to do so. Hey, Bernardo, how's it going? But unfortunately, the child that she was carrying did not make it. And that is just a sad time. Brian and I were, yeah, Michael, I agree. It is devastating news. It's never easy, of course, and especially when you're a mama. If anyone has had this happen to their wife, sister, own mother, or whatnot, I was sharing with Brian, my wife had some difficulties before we started having our kids, and she just felt like every time it was her fault, even though there's nothing she could do about it. These things just happen, and it's just really hard on the mom, unfairly so. They come down a little bit too hard on themselves. And if you've never met or seen Amelia, she was very active before children.
Yes.
Very, very active everywhere. In fact, we did some for one of the Twin Sons fundraisers. We sat down and we played Queen's Gambit. Me and Amelia did for an epic 3.5 hours. It was the first time I'd ever met her in person. And Amelia came bouncing. I mean, just skipping and jumping and hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Had these R2D2 pants on. And it was just
all
really
the energy
crazy
in the world.
And, I think my wife rolled my eyes and said, I'm going shopping. So, wasn't going to sit around and watch nerds play the game, but we laughed. We had a good time. I want to say we played Epic Duels too.
Is that the one where Jabba was involved? What is that?
We played the Jabba, the Hut,
Yeah.
Starlight Pit. We played Battle of the Starlight Pit. We played the Epic Duels, and we played Queen's Gambit. And then later on, for that same fundraiser, I played Sabacc, I believe, with Bruce from Prince of the Universe. We played a round of Sabacc, the old school Sabacc from West End Games, which I've actually gotten that Han Solo card game. I bought that Han Solo card game. Those cards are really nice and look like good Sabacc cards. Yeah, they're really good Sabacc cards. The plan was at Legends Con this year, I was going to bring my Sabacc deck.
Oh,
get
dear.
A massive Sabacc game. I couldn't wait to say, Sabacc. That's what I want to say, like Lando did. Yeah, and Lance, you're correct. If you can't give money to Amelia or family, just keep her in your prayers. It's very important as well. And again, the link will say, hey, do you want to do 50, 100, 200? What you can type in what you want. If it's $10, $5, it doesn't have to be something big. If you want it to be something big, great. If you don't, that's fine. But I mean, at least, yeah, Lance, that is correct.
Just sharing. Yeah, that's exactly what we put up on Twin Sons too, is if you can't donate, just share. That's what we say for all of our fundraisers. But this one in particular, we would really appreciate anything you guys could do to help her out.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to do, thanks, Bruno. One of the things I was going to do at Legends Con actually was I talked to Kyle about doing a little fan panel. Oh my gosh. There was something in my ear the whole time. I pulled my ear out and I felt like I said, man, my ear is echoing. There's something. I thought my ear was stuffed. I just got finished working out in a shower too with this thing in it. The little rubber part came out. It didn't pop out.
I was just telling a friend earlier that I am not a fan of earbuds. I much prefer headphones.
I was like, man, my ear drum fit, and I kept pressing it, but I never stuck my ear in it till just now. I felt like I was like, man, my ear feels stuffed. Okay, that was funny. Anyway, I was going to do a fan panel, and the topic was going to be about the fandom and everything, and I was going to do a Mount Rushmore I was going to do a Mount Rushmore of EU fans. The four faces I put up there. And very seriously, one of the faces is going to be Joe Bongiorno, who has shared tons of stuff. He's well respected in the fandom. He's, of course, the author of Supernatural Encounters, but he's given us a lot of hard to find or out of print material free on his site. And anyone who's providing some hard to find or an unpublished EU, and Joe searched a lot for that, that's a good guy. So he definitely deserves his face on the Mount Rushmore of EU fans. And then I was not cheating, but the next three was going to be Brian, Dylan, and Amelia. It really was because
I would put some other people up there personally.
I would not actually, because I do think Twin Sons is the very apex of the fandom. I think that's the best thing about the fandom because they do the most good. They have the best name. They were well respected. They're on definitely talking terms with Lucasfilm. Get invited to all the things. They want to spread the EU, their love for the EU. They share it with kids in hospitals, kids at schools. It means so much to these kids. These kids' faces light up. I've been on 2 official ones and several unofficial ones as the Wren Network has donated a few. I've passed them around. But the school that I went to, the last one I went to is, hey, Scott, I saw Scott made a donation too. Thank you, Scott.
Scott, how you doing?
Anyway, again, not to get off topic since we have a few more people join. Amelia is one of the ladies on the board of Twin Sons Foundation. Less active recently since the birth of her first child. And fortunately, her second child, unfortunately, did not make it. And it's a sad moment for the whole family. So what we're doing here is I have the GoFundMe here. Again, it starts off at 50 at the lowest, but you can type in if you want to do 20 or 25 or something like that. And if you so are inclined to do so, it's a tough time of loss of a child like that. And so our thoughts and prayers are with her, of course. And I was just going to share some of the stories about her. I was sharing stories about her and everything. And I was going to say that I would put those 3 on Mount Rushmore in a heartbeat for EU fans because they just do a lot of good. And stories that, first off, Amelia was way more involved, and she still is involved in the background. I've actually worked more with Amelia recently than you two on drives. Just when I was getting books, I was talking with Amelia back and forth. So she's still heavily involved. She's in the background now, but she's still heavily involved and gives her time and everything. And it's just so nice. And on my last big drive to one of our schools, I remember Brian, I worked with Brian about he said, hey, Matt, what did they have? And so I got the list and Brian filled in the list. So they have basically a complete book, hardback, paperback collection of Legends books.
Not normally what we do, but that time we were like, well, let's see. They already have something to start with. You gotta fill in the gaps.
We got to fill in the gaps. So we filled in the gaps, which I was so happy. I walked in. I had some kids follow me because it's always a big deal. And I'm putting them in order because it irks me. I'm putting them in chronological order. They were out of order, so I had to put them in order. And the whole time I'm talking to these kids, and he goes, okay, I read a book, and it wasn't that good. And he told me, I said, I don't know the name of that book. That must be a new canon book. He went, oh, so I've read this one. Is that part of this canon? I said, yes. I said, this is the storyline. This one. He said, okay. And then he picked up the book. He went, oh, so if it has the Legends banner on it, that means it's the good story, right? And I was like, yes, the Legends banner is the mark of excellence. It's the seal of approval. And but
you say it's exactly, legendary.
Yeah, and he goes, okay, here I come, Crystal Star.
Well, hey, look, some people like that one, and I've heard.
Well, besides geeks at it, yes, they do. But no, I truly believe that all 3 of you have done so much hard work, and folks, they work for free. And it's a hard job, and it's time consuming, and they continue to do it. And even though I'm not going to talk. I can talk all day about Brian. I don't want to talk about Dylan because I actually hate Dylan in real life.
Yeah, that's so true.
But then Twin Sons has also worked with. There was a kid. I think I've told this story once. There was a kid, we kept it kind of on the down low, but there's a 13-year-old during COVID. well, he kept getting tested positive. He wasn't feeling sick, but he kept getting tested. So he kept having to go home. This is back in, I think, 2022, if I recall, 2021, back when they were going back to school, but just being very, and so because of that, he didn't really have any friends. And he was very lonely because he had to go away for 2 weeks. Then he'd come back and test again in 2 days and have to go back. And he wasn't feeling sick because a lot of them didn't show any symptoms. But so because of that, he felt very ostracized from his group. He is feeling kind of alone and down. He just read books. He read Star Wars books, and he followed my channel. His mom reached out to me, asked if I, didn't know, but around the holidays, because he's really down and he really loves my channel, could I talk to him? I said, absolutely. Dude, the kid was just amazing to talk to. We had so much fun. People don't know, but we worked together and planned Yub Nub's holiday special. Some of the jokes and some of the ideas were his. I said, I'll use whatever you want. So we teamed up together and we wrote a episode just for him.
Nice.
Put a little inside joke just for him that he put in there. And he said, yeah, I'm still looking for, and he had this small list. So I reached out. I mean, I say small, under 20, but he did have a list. I was very impressed by what he read. So I called Brian and I said, hey, Brian, I don't know if you do this, but I told him the situation. I said, can we get him that list? Is there any way? Brian goes, we'll see what we can do. And so we got his address and sent him that, and he was over the moon. They weren't the best books, some of them he asked for, but I get it. He wanted that complete collection of those hardback paperbacks.
Which ones were those? I'm trying to remember at this point. I don't remember.
I can't recall. If I go back through the emails, I'm sure, because I remember
discussing them, but I don't remember.
Yeah, because you said, you said, are you sure he wants? It was like, I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was a Dawn of the Jedi or something. You sure he wants that? I said that was.
That's probably what it was, because I'm usually pretty hard on
one. I remember one of the stinkers was on there, and we joked about, should we send that to him, because we really like the kid. We don't want him to get sick. But anyway, that's what I'm just saying. That's what Twin Sons is doing, and that's what Amelia has been tied to the hip doing. And it's hard. Anyone who's a mom knows this. It's hard to be a mom, raise kids, and find time for other things. But Amelia always does that. Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember, but I think she showed up plenty of times on our Celebration Chicago stream, because she was there for that. But she wasn't at the table very often, because her personality is very much the jumping around, getting out and about. She was roaming the floor. She posted a lot of our pictures to social media and whatnot. And I think she came on the stream a couple of times because she was in and out so frequently. But if you guys looked on the Twin Sons channel, which we rarely use for anything, you would be able to find that and see kind of the person that she is. And she's very much that energy, bubbly type personality, and huge boon to our team, because Dylan and I just have no energy these days.
Yeah, I'm not going to put Dylan as the cheerleader of the three of them. Definitely the one who is Red Bull in a cup is Amelia. She is always energetic, always happy. I'll get I would get every so often text from her. I still do periodically. It's almost guaranteed once every 2 or 3 months, Amelia's going to text me something goofy or crazy, or send me a picture of her kid, which she loves to death. She's such a good mama. But anyway, so it's always good to have her as a friend and everything. And go ahead.
Rebel Jedi is somebody else in Twin Sons Foundation, but not Amelia. Comments there. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Celebration Chicago. Was it Amelia?
Celebration Chicago was Amelia. Was the comment after that? Is this for Rebel Jedi?
I don't know who that is.
I know who that is, but that's not Amelia. I don't know.
Oh, that's not Amelia. That's not Amelia. No, that's not Amelia. So Amelia, because of the next child she had, she was not going to be able to make it to Legends Con, but I think Brian and I think we're all planning a trip, side trip to go see her or hang out with her.
Yeah, we were going to make a side thing, because that's what she wanted to do. She at least wanted to see us all, which was going to be a huge opportunity to see everybody. But
her number one priority is to the kids. She's just such a great mama, loving mama. And couldn't go to the thing, and I get that. Geez, I can't go anywhere with my kids. So, but the thing is, though, we all were gonna try to stop by and do something, hang out at her house, just kind of see her. She's just so you can't help but smile. She used to have a YouTube channel a long time ago and got rid of it.
That's probably where I saw her first. Actually,
I saw her first, and I remember when I first spoke to her. I told her, because she asked me what I honestly thought. She wanted an honest opinion. I said, do you want an honest opinion? She went, yeah. I went, okay, honestly, because I remember her very first video is like, here's who I am. Here's what I do. Here's what I said. You shouldn't have led with that, because I don't care that you're this, that, and this and that, but someone else is and going to go, oh, I don't want to listen to her. You know, I said, you need to lead in with very plain, which is why I used to wear plain Jane shirts. I wouldn't even wear my Mets jerseys back then, because I didn't want anyone going, that Mets man, I'm not going to listen to him.
Don't want to alienate anybody.
Now it's fine. Now I don't care, but just, very early on.
It's so contrary to who you are. You like poking the bear.
Oh, I do. I do so much.
In some ways, Amelia is the same way too, by the way.
And I think Brian and Dylan know that better than anyone, because they know about the cliffs. I've said, hey, you want to see me jump? And then Brian goes, hey, Matt, maybe we shouldn't jump from that cliff. No, it'd be fun. Let's hold off on that, Matt. And then Dylan just goes, please don't do that. He goes, what's wrong, Dylan? I just
that's
Dylan just doesn't know what to say sometimes.
To be fair, sometimes I don't either, but I come up with something anyway.
My favorite moment was when you told me that Delray had sent me that gift package. They came by Celebration, asked because they watched my channel, and then the very next day I did my reaction to episode 7,
and I'm just like,
and you said, I just told you Delray watches your channel. I said, that was already primed to go. I was already, before you told me, I already had that scheduled. It's like, you could have taken it down or delayed it for a week. I said, I'm sorry. It had to go. I was so proud of that. I didn't know that Delray watched. I didn't know a lot of people watched.
To be fair, it was pretty funny.
It was hilarious. Still one of my favorite ones. But anyway, though, back on Amelia, wonderful person. Dylan, Brian, any stories to share?
Most of the stories I wouldn't share.
Yeah. Well, you go back and listen to some of those old streams. You can kind of get her personality too.
Yeah, she's an extremely bubbly person. I would say definitely check out those celebration streams, because that's where on Twin Sun she's appeared the most. She was one of the people playing the Old Republic with Gordon and I too. So she had some gaming there too, but yeah, ever since she had her first child, she's been a little bit busy, understandably so, being a good mother. So, but sad. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
It's really sad what's happened to her. Matt, you and I were talking earlier about this and mentioning how, the mothers are very hard on themselves, or tend to be very hard on themselves when this thing can happen to them. And it's not really fair to themselves to do that. And, Amelia is not the type of person who would have done anything to force this. So, and I know from her conversations in our group chats that she was very much looking forward to having her second child. So it's depressing, but there is, for those who might have joined while we've been talking, there is that GoFundMe link that was put together by one of their family friends. And, I asked Amelia if she was okay if we shared this around. So figured this would be a good way to get the word out and see if anybody who might be out there willing to help her out, or even just spread the word further for anybody who, might chip in.
Yeah. And like I said, again, on that site, it starts at 50, but you can actually type in a lower number if you don't want to do 50. That's totally fine. You can do 10.
And apparently 15, GoFundMe is doing a tip thing now too, but you can adjust that.
You don't have to do a tip. You can adjust the tip too. You don't have to do the tip if you don't want to. But either way though, it's just a sad situation. So we just want your support for Amelia and prayers for Amelia. Hello, Scoundrels Canteen. I haven't seen you in a very long time. Yeah, you always go down to Desiro Daigo Fish. That's fine. Yeah. And again, you can just type in the amount if you want to give anything. But just to let you know about Amelia, I mean, she is still involved heavily with Twin Sons. Like I said, I have dealt with her actually a little bit more last year than both you guys, because I was like, what do I do with these books? And we were moving back and forth on a few things last year. So she still is involved when she can. But right now, just a sad time she's going through, just a hard time. Yeah, thank you, Lance. Yeah, and spread the word about it, and just any little bit will help.
Appreciate
Because
that. Yeah.
if you know someone who's been through something like this, it's not fun. It's,
No.
especially when you're looking forward. Yeah, I understand Scoundrels Cantina. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to sync our schedules up sometime. It's been way too long, my friend. But anyway, though, that it's just sad happenstance happens. It's no one's fault here when this happens. It's just as life goes, and we do wish her well. I know, as positive as she does, she is. She will get by, but definitely our thoughts and prayers are with her. And that's why I wanted to do this little short stream about the GoFundMe. In fact, I guess we can talk about it now.
Sure.
I was going to save this for a more civilized age, and I still don't have all the details, but
Great.
we did talk about the. I'll switch. Did I have the other one? No, I didn't. I got rid of it. Oh no, there it is. We talked about the Legends Con Plan B there, and right now it is going to be in Dallas. Because we're going to hopefully do something with Twin Sons, work together with them during that weekend. We also kind of want to see Amelia too, and hang out with her a little bit. So Dallas will be the location. It will be either late September or early October. I will know that is literally everything I know right now.
We don't know a ton. There's probably going to be a Twin Sons donation involved too, but again, we don't know all the details. We're still working on that.
We don't know all the details, but I just wanted to go ahead and just reveal that at this time, just so we can be with a friend and be with a bunch of friends. As for the exact location and the exact date, I will have to find out more by next week. Give me 8 days, and hopefully by a more civilized age, I will have all the exact plans for that. So, but that's one that's just a no-brainer because we just want to be there, hang out with our friend, and
just wanted to meet up and say hi. It's not going to be some big convention, but a nice.
It's not going to be a convention. It's not. It's just going to be. I'm sure it's going to be just a small meetup. Everyone who had vouchers for the plane, it's kind of a no-brainer. You were already planning on going there anyway. The hotel and area may be a little bit different. I'm trying to find a spot that's going to have a lot of restaurants around us, so no one has to drive anywhere. You can kind of walk to different places, kind of save on those Uber costs and everything. And then find a weekend with a few other things, optional things to do and hang out at. So we're not just staring at one another for a while, because I'm sure the first 4 hours will be great, but after a while, I get tired of Dylan. I'm kidding. I can't get tired of Dylan.
To be fair, you can only talk to that guy for like 14 hours on a car ride nonstop about Star Wars, and never get bored. But whatever,
dude, I can talk We can break a Guinness Book of World Records on how much I can talk Star Wars. But it should be fun. Again, hopefully more details will be revealed next week. That is literally all the information I have.
Yeah, definitely still
to give at this point. So, but we're trying to work on all that and everything, and like I said, it should be a fun thing to get together. And I know, well, I've still got to get with a few other people too, but yeah, we want to definitely be there for our friend there. And again, just one last time, this is for Amelia, who is part of the Twin Sons Foundation, and of course the EU family here that we have here.
Right.
And so if you can go to our GoFundMe page. They put the minimum at 50, but you can do, like I said, 10, 20, whatever you want to do. If you can give a little, great. If not, please keep her in your prayers. But yeah, it's just never a happy time. And so for her and her family, her husband too. I didn't get to meet him. Did y'all go to the wedding?
No, I didn't get to meet him either.
Did Dylan go to the wedding? Dylan was at the wedding. Okay, Dylan went to the wedding. And see, Dylan isn't here because Dylan's a bump. No, I'm kidding.
Dylan's a busy guy. He's almost as busy as we are.
Well, he works a lot now, so it's hard to get a hold of Dylan. And Dylan never returns my text, but doesn't until like 2 weeks later. But anyway, so Dylan went. So Dylan got to meet him. I have not gotten to meet him. And there she is. There she is. But yes, we love Amelia so much. And he was at the wedding. And I don't know why Amelia didn't have her bouncers bounce him out. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure he made some little kids cry at the wedding, which wasn't cool, but that's just Dylan.
I
Uh,
told her I wouldn't have held it against her as a board member.
I got a great. Oh, look at that! There's Dylan too. Dylan, you have an invite to this. You have an invite in your email. Anyway, but maybe I sent to a different email.
Did you just say his name 3 times or something? Was that what
I know
happened?
if you say Dylan's name 3 times. So Dylan was supposed to do. I'm gonna out Dylan here. So at Jeremy's wedding, I got to hang out with Dylan, which by the way is always fun. And I want you to know that Dylan can talk about any subject. I mean, knowledgeably, he can talk. I can just talk about nonsense, but Dylan can talk about actual subjects. And Dylan was, I mean, he was very versatile. I wanted to talk different things, and he did talk baseball with me a little bit. And Dylan did tolerate me. I feel like Dylan tolerates me when we're together. But it was a lot of fun to hang out with Dylan and Geeks Attic and Adam. Oh, and I will tell you this, Geeks Attic and Adam from Red 5 Reviews will both be at the meetup later on this fall. I did talk to Geeks Attic about that. So he and Adam are in like Flynn. I think Ryan Kendall's going to come too.
I think we had some good names. Yeah. I think we had some good names coming.
Yeah, I think we got a couple of other names coming and everything, regardless of where it was, I think they were saying. So it should be a lot of fun. And maybe go out. But I just need to find a good spot for everyone. But again, there's the link there. Miss Amelia, we love you so much, so much, so much. Like I said, just a ray of sunshine, such a wonderful person. And I am super happy that I've got to know her and everyone at Twin Sons, everyone involved with Twin Sons. I really do think the world of you people. I think you are the best.
They're all good guys.
I think everyone is good, and you do a lot of work and not as much appreciation. I mean, obviously, when you no, it's for anyone, Lance. It's for anyone. Yeah. It's not.
We'll make a public thing. It's just
huge. Lance, if there's more than 30, I'll be shocked. I'm going very low on this. If it's more than 30, I will be shocked. And it could be. I'm thinking under 30. Not so. I think it could be 20, maybe a little bit more. But my guess would be somewhere between 20 and 30. I could be wrong. Who knows? 100. Look out. A sea of people. We'll start doing the wave, or maybe everyone will start doing Amelia. We'll start doing house chores around Amelia's place.
And give her a day off.
Give her a day off. That's right. Give her a day off. But yeah, so that's it there.
I volunteer Dylan to look after her kid. So.
Oh my Lanta, yes. Daddy Dylan. Well, he's Uncle Dylan to my kids who haven't seen Uncle Dylan in years or never, besides on stream. But Dylan did come by here. The funny story with Dylan I have is my wife bought that, that big 5-barrel of cheese balls.
Cheese.
You can get it at Walmart. So yes. Megan bought. My wife bought this big old barrel of them. And so we were sitting around and we ate a few, and then it just got over to Dylan, and it never left Dylan's side. Well, I didn't know because we were playing games, having a great time, talking and everything. And then we took off, and Megan goes, "Thanks a lot for leaving me cheese balls." I went, "What do you mean?" She went, "The cheese balls are empty. Y'all ate the whole barrel." I went, I had like a handful. So Jeremy, I said, "Dylan had them." I said, "Did he eat them all?" And he did. Oh, here he is. Dylan.
Ruh-roh.
Hello.
Yeah, and so my wife didn't get mad at me because she thought it was me, but she loves Dylan. She absolutely.
Dylan got away with it from how I understood things.
You and Dylan, she really likes.
Well, she likes me because she wants to move to Arizona, and I just keep giving her reasons to do it. So
yeah, but yeah. So anyway, Dylan, anything you want to say
about what?
You went to Amelia's wedding and got to meet her husband.
I did. Met him a couple times. He was on a I can't remember which one. He was on an episode of the Legends podcast one time. He wasn't really on it. He was just kind of in the background, and then at several points, he would turn around and add his 2 cents, and then go back to whatever it was he was doing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, now that Dylan's here, it's time to end it. But I'm gonna leave the link here. I'm gonna leave the link here in the description. That was the one who doesn't exist anymore. So anyway, thank you everyone. Like I said, this is gonna be a short one here. I've got to talk some baseball with Dylan now that I have him trapped.
Oh dear.
And so if you can, support, prayers for Amelia. We love you so much.
Absolutely.
So much. Everyone loves you. Even Dylan. Dylan, can you say that?
Yeah, you're great, Amelia.
Oh, he can't say the L word. He can't say it. It's okay. It's okay.
Of course, we love Amelia.
Amelia, you know he says it with his eyes.
And actually, that's probably the most affectionate I've ever heard Dylan, so I'm kind of jealous.
Look, I'm trying to get my camera to work, all right?
Dylan is probably the most huggable person you'll ever meet. It's funny because when I came in to Jeremy's party, I was super late. I just had tons of delays. And when I finally made it in, everyone came out to greet me, but Dylan. He said there, Dylan's like, I don't want to see this guy. I have to ignore his phone calls and text messages all the time. Why would I want to see him? I had to go over and hug him. Dylan's not a hugger or not a good hugger. Did you hug Amelia? Surely you hugged Amelia at her wedding.
Yeah.
I'm hugged shocked. Amelia and you won't hug me?
Amelia, is he lying? Let me know if he's lying. I got to hear about this later.
Wait, did you get a Dylan hug, Amelia? Was it like having fresh flowers wrapped in Care Bears? Was it soft and fuzzy and smell slightly like strawberries?
There are pictures?
What? This is his affectionate side here.
I'm stunned. I don't know.
I'm
what
hurt
to say.
and jealous. I want a hug. You think I'm kidding?
No, I know you're not kidding. That's what's making this funnier.
What, Dylan?
I'm still trying to get my camera to work.
Distracted by his camera. A likely story. If it was Amelia, you wouldn't be distracted by the camera.
Amelia, when y'all were exchanging vows, did you give some side eye to Dylan to catch a tear? Please tell me. Please tell me. There's a. You also met Dylan at Chicago. Yes. Gosh, he is so much.
His mother at Chicago, actually. She was a godsend during that one.
He came and saw me once, Amelia, and he won't come back. Even though I begged him. I've given him a full bedroom. I'll give Alex a little stairway closet to live in, but Dylan gets a bedroom. A full bedroom if he comes. You didn't have your eyes on the crowd.
Sounds like your secret's safe, Dylan.
So, Amelia, what I've done for the past few... I don't think I did it for Jeremy's. I didn't do it for Jeremy's, but what I've done for the past two before Jeremy's wedding is I'll take a picture of... I'll bring out my cell phone while I'm in the wedding party, and I'll take a picture of the groom as the bride comes out for the first time, because I want the bride to see the groom's face when he sees the bride coming down. It's always, they're kind of like in awe or excited or... Here we go. It's at that moment. And because someone did that to me at my wedding, someone in the crowd took a picture of me and said, here, I thought you wanted to see this when the first moment you saw your bride coming down. I was like, wow, that's a pretty cool thing. So I've tried to do that. And I forgot to do it at Jeremy's. I don't think I had my cell phone with me because we were we were taking pictures for 16 hours prior to we barely made it. There he is. Look at how cuddly. Look at this.
Sorry, I couldn't.
And
I
he's
can't
got
get it.
bookshelves in his background. What's this about?
I know.
Yeah,
I'm jealous. It's all set up and nice and everything.
indeed. This is the only.
Yes.
I don't have a cable long enough, so I have to put it on this monitor over here, which is not the monitor I look at. I have 3 monitors, and it's over. The camera's over here.
There you go. Yeah, I wanted to attend in the blizzard. Didn't make it. Yeah, I was trying to get. See, I said about 4 years ago. I told my wife. I said, "Oh my gosh," because we were sitting at a wedding. I went, "I just realized I'm retired from weddings." She went, "What?" I went, "I haven't been to weddings since my little sister's, and that was like 10 years ago." I said, I'm too old now. I don't do weddings anymore." And then the past 3 years, I've been in back to back wedding. I've been so happy with that.
You jinxed yourself on that.
And yeah, and I have two friends getting engaged this year, but I don't think they're getting married. And I don't know. I have a feeling I'm not going to make any of the wedding parties there, but that's okay because I just felt like, dang, I'm on a roll. But every time I'm in a wedding, I sit in that tux and I party out because I think it's going to be my last time to be in the wedding party. Being in the wedding party is something that what has happened to me 23 times now.
Jeez.
I know, and I want 24. I want 25. So I'm hunting for some more, but I enjoy the last 3. I remember I've just kind of sat there and just taken in the moment, and to be honest, it was really nice up around Redding. We were at Shasta. Was it Shasta Lakes or Shasta Mountain?
Mount Shasta.
Mount Shasta.
Mount Shasta. Okay, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
There we go.
It was so perfect.
Now, because I got it on the screen.
See, I wasn't going to go there, Amelia, but you did. So
yeah, thanks, Amelia. You know what? At this moment, they can take them. We're on spring break, Amelia, and they're driving me nuts. I'm off this week. Well, I wasn't off Tuesday, but I was off. I'm off for the rest this week. And they went with their best friend to the zoo and came back and told me all about it. And literally passed out, laid down on the carpet. And I said, "Bubba, get up. Do not sleep." And was already out. Like just a minute ago, she was telling me, and this, and that, and this, and that. And then her sister goes, and she goes, and lays down. And so I'm trying to wake up Piper and say, "Piper, go into Daddy's bedroom. You can just go in my bedroom." And I look, and Meridian has fallen on the couch, and she's out. I mean, like that. You thought someone had drugged my kids. I was like, what happened? Yeah, I know, for real. And they were like, and they just passed right out and they slept. I was like, okay. And then tomorrow we're doing the park and we're, I don't know. They want to go out to eat, probably McDonald's or something stupid like that. But we'll do it. We'll do it.
Spoil them during spring break. Wow, you can.
Oh, thank you. Amelia is in the chat here. You can read about her GoFundMe. Recently, had a hardship, so we're just doing this for our good friend Amelia. We love her so much. She's part of Twin Sons Foundation and a fellow EU fan.
One of our current 3 board members. She's actually been a board member for a long while now.
One of the founding members. Yes, you are, Amelia. Founding member. And a very important one, too. Amelia, I even said that I probably worked more with you in the past year than Brian and Dylan, based on the Ren Network stuff. So
you guys are physically located closer to each other.
Yeah, we're located closer to each other. And I haven't made it to Dallas. Yeah, I haven't made it to Dallas in years, or I would have stopped by. And it's funny because before that, that's a lot. 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? I was there, but for work and only for 2 days. And my schedule was uber tight and could not go see anyone. So I was in and out. Because I was only there for one night, I think. But anyway.
Don't worry, Amelia. He said the same thing about Phoenix last time he was here when he didn't see us. So.
No, I saw you. Didn't I see you last time I was in Phoenix? I think I did.
I
think I did. Yeah, I try to for Phoenix. I'm usually there. I was there the last time I was there was for a week. That was great. That was great. That was on my call. That was back when I had the power to tell my company, hey, you're paying, and they did. They approved it and everything. I was like, woohoo! I don't
And
have
then
that
you
power
tried it.
anymore.
No,
I don't
you
have that
abused
power.
it. They caught on to it.
Yeah. I've tried. I'm trying. I'm still trying. I'm trying super hard, but they are grounding me. They traveled everyone last year but me, and they are determined to ground me again this year. So but it looks like everyone's getting grounded. But I really wanted back on the road, so they would not allow it.
Amelia, I wasn't gonna say it, but I mean, if you're saying it in the chat, you're outing yourself. I didn't say
The
it.
token female nerd. There you go. The token female nerd. There she is. But definitely bright and bubbly, and so much fun. And
Yep.
love her to death.
That
Absolutely
energy
love
that
her.
we need in this organization.
That's right. You're like the yin to Dylan's yang.
So, it's not too far off the truth, actually.
Amelia, it would make me feel better if Dylan came and hung out with me for a week. It'd probably help you too. Maybe Dylan can come and hang out.
Volunteer him.
I just need Dylan just there. Yeah, he can. Ooh, Uncle Dylan. Hey, he's Uncle Dylan at my house. He's Uncle Dylan.
Yes, you got official uncle status. Congrats,
Uncle Dylan. My kids, my youngest kids, have not even met him. They've seen him. I said, "It's Uncle Dylan." They're like, "I don't know who this is. I've never seen this person." It's okay. You're going to live with him one day. Yeah. Everyone misses Dylan.
I forgot you guys were so closely at birth dates. I thought that was hilarious when I found that out the first time. I forgot about that.
Thank you, Nazo Servant Art. Appreciate that.
Yes.
And I appreciate everyone. So thank you so much. Okay. Anything else to add, guys? I said we'd make this short, but we didn't really make this short because Dylan jumped on. I had to.
Nah, it's fine. I think the only thing I would add is just, anything you guys can do to help out is awesome. And of course, I know Matt's going to be getting some more information out there for this fan meetup that we'll be doing later this year, hopefully in the Dallas area. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So fan meetup in the Dallas area. I'll have a date, maybe a location, again, sometime next week for a more civilized age. I want to go ahead and just announce that because it kind of hammered in because we both want to see Amelia. I want to see Dallas. I want to see everyone. I can't wait to see everyone there sometime later in the early fall, probably, because summers are always crazy for everyone. But anyway, shortly after that. If we do it anywhere around October, we can make that our excuse to do our Star Wars Read Month donation. Sorry, I didn't think about that. All right, so we have more to chat about there. But that's anyway, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. We love you, Amelia. Again, share the GoFundMe. Keep her in your prayers. She's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person, and we love her, all of her. Don't we, Dylan? Don't we love her, Dylan? You're such a heartless, cold son of a biscuit. I'm telling you, Dylan. He's a rock, Amelia. He's a rock. He's not going to bow. He's not going to bow. I thought you had him on that one, too. I really did. His heart is of stone. They say in that little town of California, his heart grew 3 sizes that day. Nice. Dylan's team even won a World Series, and he acts like the world is ending.
That's only one.
That's only one.
Listen to this guy. Hashtag Dylan Stoneheart. I know, right? Cold, man. He's a cold-hearted snake. I think that's what Paul Abdul sung for him, Who knows how many loves he's spurned. With his cold, tough love. I mean, he's a rugged man. He rides off into the sunset like Indiana Jones, leaving us wanting more. So, yeah, that's right. And then I think, Amelia, we should talk about building a Death Star. Is that correct? Is that the thing that she always talks about? Yeah, Death Star. Yep. Building the Death Star. So, yeah. Yep, definitely have to do that. And all that fun stuff. Next time we need to build a Death Star. Oh, yeah. In 2019, you were on one of the nightcaps, too. That is correct. And it lasted for hours. Oh, it was the rocket to the moon. Oh, the rocket to the moon. Rocket to the moon. Dadgummit.
That's what
I
it
thought
was.
it
It
had
was
something to do with
rocket
the
to
moon. I just couldn't remember. Rocket to
Because-
the moon.
because we wanted to advertise our next billboard on the moon. That's what we were aiming for. That's what.
That's
it was.
exactly right. She kept walking for a rocket on the moon. So here's to the rocket on the moon. Well, Dylan's an engineer, Amelia, so it can probably happen now.
Eh,
Yeah,
Well,
that rocket
we'll-
to the moon.
we'll put him through his paces. See if he can make it
Yeah.
work for us.
All right. Anyway, folks, thanks a lot. Thanks for giving. Love you, Amelia. Everyone take care and have a great night.